Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Girls with Sabers and our commentary live stream for Jane Eyre, the 2011 version. I'm here with my co-host, Luthien. Luthien, say hello, friend.
Hello, everyone. I love Michael Fassbender. That's why I'm here. It's pretty much why I'm here.
I love this story, and I love Michael Fassbender. Yeah, Jane Eyre is my favorite book, and I still have not found the perfect quintessential Jane Eyre adaptation. There's just some that like I want to take apart from this movie and take the Jane Eyre from this movie and the Rochester from that movie and mix them together. So if you don't know how this works, we can't play the movie on the screen due to copyright issues. So, in a few minutes, while people get in here, we're going to get the movie ready on our end, and we're gonna all hit play at the same time and do it that way. So, uh, if you don't already have the movie set up right now, go and get your other device or get your DVD player or
Or
whatever
or VHS. Although
VHS.
this was probably never released on VHS. So
I
yeah,
don't think
DVD.
it. Yeah, I
Blu-ray?
don't. Blu-ray? Yeah, I don't
Huh.
think it would. I don't think it would have a VHS
No, no. No, no, no. Mm-mm.
or beta.
Definitely not beta. Definitely
That's
not beta.
that's what my grandmother had in the 90s and the 2000s. She had a beta. So
Betamax.
you could only watch two things at her house. You can
Yeah.
watch The Voyage of Natty Gann or Rainbow Bright.
Oh, The
That's it.
Journey of Natty Gann. Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's a
Oh
wonderful movie, by the way.
my gosh. The Journey of Natty Gann? Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, so friend, do you want to go ahead and get this
Baby John
stream?
Cusack, huh?
Ah, baby John Cusack. Yes.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Hi Yova. Happy Rayloween. Oh, I love it. Happy Rayloween. Happy Gothic Halloween.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Well, I mean, you know what? We should start.
Okay, let's start. All
Yeah.
right.
I'm at 00004. I can't get any lower than that. It won't let me.
Okay. It's okay. Just tell me when you're ready and I'll start.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, play. I'm at 11 seconds. $25 seconds. Not for
Oh,
nothing, I love how this begins.
I was gonna say the same thing. It looks like it is lit in candlelight, which gives it that gothic
Yep.
romance feel.
Rocker Chick. Oh, yes, this will stay on the channel. It will re-upload once we're done being live. So, yep, Soul Crow. Thanks for sticking around anyways. Welcome, welcome. Oh, the music for this is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's perfect. It has such a haunting longing to it. Like I have the soundtrack on it on my playlist, but I have to shuffle past
Yeah.
because it hurts to listen to it. Like it physically hurts me. Like I can't. You hear all the isolation and
Yeah.
her calling out and
Yeah. I do love how he began with this.
yes.
Oh, I'm at a minute 35.
No, the crossroad symbolism. Very nice.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Man, that's desolate as shit. And it looks cold.
It's the Wuthering Heights out in the
Yep.
moors. No wonder Gothic romance has the moors.
Yeah.
So much scope for the imagination.
Yes. Man, we got to do an Anna Green Gables watch along.
Oh, we should, but we would have to do that in sections.
That's
Like,
fine. They're
yeah,
only all in like what? Are they 2 hours?
they're 4 hours.
Whoops.
Yeah. Thank you, Rocker Chick. We'll be doing some others.
Yep.
We usually do this for our patrons, but we wanted to do this for holidays too, for the public. So,
Oh, Molly, thank you. Happy Halloween. We'll have fun. Yes. Thank you,
yes.
Molly. Thanks for stopping by. We know a lot of, oh gosh. I'm sorry, the strings.
See, I can't listen to it too much. It hurt. Like it literally hurts
Well,
me.
it keeps hopping up into the harmonic and
Yeah.
oh gosh. Hey, Kaylin. Oh my God, Kaylin, yes. Yeah, in like 3 hours or so, this is gonna be free on Prime. Right now it's $3.99. Our timing's impeccable, right?
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday when I
Yeah.
was and I was like I sent a screenshot of that. I was like, "Girls, the
Yeah.
Saber strikes again."
Yes. Oh, here's comes Sinjin.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, but Jamie Bell's I thought played him really well. Like
Yes.
until he
Yes.
got pretty misogynistic, I was
Yes.
like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
to
Soul Crow, 3 hours or so. It'll be on Prime for free. Right now it's $3.99. Ugh,
sorry. We didn't know.
we didn't know.
Girls with struggles.
Yep. Timestamp 4:25.
I'm gonna put that on our banner. What was the timestamp, Lou?
Hold on. I'm at 4:45 right now. Yeah, Kaylin says it's coming to Prime in 3 hours 54 minutes.
Well, we hope you enjoy this in 3 hours.
Yeah, definitely follow along with us.
I This is hard for me to watch.
Yes, agreed.
Oh,
Agreed. Ugh.
oh,
Yeah.
that noise that they just made.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that's what they're
But then she starts wailing on him. Like,
yeah.
yes. For
Like, can you
shame
guys
if you saw, like, 20 seconds before that.
well, she's the one that has blood on her head.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, it
I
just
would they never go into depth about, what was one of the woman's names?
Betsy?
Betsy, yes.
Yeah.
They never dive deep into Betsy, and just like Helen, Betsy really had an impact on Jane as far as younger years. Like, she's really, like, one of the only people she
Yep.
felt safe around, and I guess in the book, like, they didn't dive too deep into that, but I always felt they dove enough in the book that, Betsy's the only one who really showed any type of compassion towards her.
I think one of the versions does. I think the version with Samantha Morton
Okay.
dives into Betsy. Like, the one with Samantha Morton, has a really good early years because it goes
Mhm.
into Helen
Yeah.
as well. A really good version of
I
Helen.
love how that was her imagination,
Yeah.
that the thought of being in the same room that her uncle died in,
Mhm.
uh, played into that fear.
There's Happy Halloween. There we go.
Yeah. Soul Crow, no, my husband and I always watch The Crow on October 30th, and we just did it yesterday because we both passed out, but we normally we do. Man, those are puffed sleeves.
Yes. Ugh.
Thanks for lying about me, auntie.
Well, it's also reflective. She's lying about Jane Eyre, you know?
Yep.
It's hypocrisy. I remember I don't know if they don't have Helen's hair in this. They don't have Helen's curly hair in this version where they shear it off, do they?
No, they kept her hair.
Yeah. In the book, they had that Helen, her friend, has this gorgeous, like red, beautiful curly hair. And the Parsons daughters were all dressed to the nines with these ringlets that were obviously done by a hot iron.
Uh-huh.
And they were showing that like hypocrisy of like here this pastor like shears Helen's hair off but has his daughters curled every morning. Like one is
Yeah.
vanity, one is not. It's just uh, it's not, I don't know. I don't think parson is the right word. The word can't come to my mind. So if you guys have the right word, write it in the comments.
What were you talking about?
The guy who just interviewed her, that is like the master of the school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his daughters have really in the book, his daughters are like dressed to the prime and have
No,
really
right, I know
beautiful,
that.
yeah,
What
yeah.
word, what were you trying to
He's
convey?
not a parson. He's something. He has some other title for, and I just can't remember what it is.
I don't remember.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
They're completely robbing her of
Uh-huh.
her dignity.
And then there's Helen. Loved that shining light behind her.
Mhm. Now she receives a new dress.
Yeah.
Symbolism. There's Georgiana,
Yeah.
the blonde-haired sister. I can't remember the Sijan sister's name, sorry, but she played Georgiana in the Pride and Prejudice 2005.
Soul Crow, when she's shipped off to the boarding school, um, they make her strip out of her dress, so she's only in her underdress, and it's very symbolic of them just stripping her of everything. But then this is all of like a flashback. Then it jumps to the present, and now, when you see the present, she has a new dress waiting for her from the people that took her in.
And it's like all floral. It gives her
Mhm.
again refinement. Her refine because she's actually a noble woman. She's a gentle woman, and she was demeaned as someone who is a servant by being brought to that orphanage, because that orphanage was a place of raising school children to be governesses in adulthood. And back then, a governess was a pretty lower class position. I mean, it's not low class, but it's pretty down below the totem pole. And you'll see this with Blanche Ingram. You'll see Blanche Ingram and Mrs. Ingram really put down governesses because of that. So the Charlotte Bronte is really showing how brought low she is right now.
The pedestal of infamy.
Ugh. There's the light symbolism. And that's like a little bird flute. Because, I mean, there's a lot of bird symbolism and motif in Jane Eyre. Like, she talks about being a bird and wanting freedom like a bird. And I think that's her call, that freedom is
Mhm.
in the future. I wonder why they didn't put the liar title on her.
Only so much time.
No, they could just put that around her neck. Mm.
Oh, it's like the first time she's been touched kindly. Reminds me of someone else.
Yep. She perceives
It's like, well, don't
correctly.
draw it right in front of him if you don't want anyone to see.
Yep. Maybe she did want them to see,
Yeah.
you know. Mm.
I do feel interpretively that in these few moments, they conveyed the love that they had for each other.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
What is a miss to me is, and it's often a miss, it's not just this version, is Helen talks about forgiveness, even though the person is unworthy of forgiveness, just for
Yes.
the health of your soul, just so that you won't have the burden of hate in your
Yeah.
soul. And that comes to play in the with Rochester, with Mrs. Reeve, with so many characters that have done her wrong.
With the headmistress.
Yeah, she's able to forgive.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, because it falls kind of somewhat it falls slightly when she does go to Mrs. Reed on her deathbed.
Yep.
And she goes, "You have my free and full forgiveness." But it's the way she portrayed that and the way she said that, like, that's very hard for her,
Mhm.
but she should have said it with a bit more gentleness, and that would have been Helen's influence. And I know there are some moments that they cut out where you see Helen's like, she has visions of Helen throughout the house and just throughout, and they took that out. I wish they did not do that
Yeah, I do
because it's
too.
now it's like after this point, there's no thought of Helen.
Mhm. Well, I just think it because it plants that seed in her,
Yeah.
because Helen has been treated horrifically, just like Jane
Yeah.
Eyre, but she
Mhm.
has a sweetness still about her and a
Right.
hope about her. And that's why she does, is she's able to forgive, not
Yeah.
forget, not forget, but not allow hate to take
Yeah.
root.
Yeah. Oh, the fact that she still hears him. And it's on the wind. Jane.
Force
Oh,
connection.
yep.
Soulmates, red string of fate.
Jane. Ugh.
See the floral. She's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, St. John was also a man of his time.
Of course,
I'm
of
not
course.
saying that that is a good
He's,
thing
like,
at
not
all.
progressive at all.
No, no.
I love how all the children love her and are gonna miss her.
Mm.
I love them showing that. Yep. And in her own way, the headmistress was gonna miss her too.
Yeah.
You saw that on her face, so I do like that they played that way.
Yes.
And she said goodbye to her. I wish they would have done a little bit more with Mrs. Reed, but these were good moments that the director played with.
Yes. Like a servant would not servant enters through the servants' quarters. Like that's instead of the main door. So although she's of noble birth, she's being treated like a servant. And
Mhm. And still, even it's a governess, you're teaching either the children or the wards or whatever, it's like, you're still a servant.
yep, yep. Why Judi Dench can play any character.
Oh my gosh. Like, I believe she's Mrs. Fairfax right now, that's her name.
I do too.
Great.
But she's a servant too. So, but
Well,
she's like
she's the head,
head. Yeah, she's
she's
like
Mrs. Hughes.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It's all
So even in
hierarchy.
the echelon of, uh, servants, you still had your head servants looking down on the lower servants.
Exactly. It's all
Yeah,
hierarchy. All hierarchy.
yep.
The art is very significant too
Yes.
because it's like if you look at it, most of it's nudes.
Nude, yeah.
So it's like part of her metaphor, again, her sexual awakening
Yep,
is starting in
yep,
this house.
yep. A type of house she's never encountered before,
Mhm.
with its secrets in its walls. Oh my god, I
Metaphor.
loved her walking into this room and the
Yes.
smile on her face.
Yes.
Yep.
It's all golden and glow.
Mhm. warm and inviting.
Oh no, Silk Crow. This is for, fun.
Yeah, if you have questions, you can definitely ask. I love how the house has this peaceful, calm, tranquil manner when she first arrives. Yep. And then of Yep, and then of course when Rochester comes, the whole air in the house changes.
Mhm.
I love how the song is, like, completely inappropriate for a child to sing.
Yep.
He does it.
Well, her mom was a ballet dancer in the opera, which back
Yes.
then was considered next to prostitution. Again,
Yeah.
it's the everything's in hierarchy. So and she was in a very dangerous Adele was in a
Yes.
dangerous setting.
Yes. How very French. Well, you see that in other versions where this or Adele's mother was very beautiful
Yeah.
and attracted a lot of male company, and she used all those men.
Yep, she sure did.
Yeah, and Adele was completely oblivious, thank goodness. Um, but Rochester fell hard, and
Well, she told him that Adele
yeah,
was his.
correct.
Yeah.
And he believed it and he didn't. But he also felt that, well, even if she's not mine, I can take better care of her than her mother. And then she dies and, you know, he leaves with her and brings her back to Thornfield. And then of course she needs a governess, and that's how Jane comes into the picture.
Well, and it also shows that there is still
Compassion in
a
him.
compassion in
Yes.
him for him to do that for
Mhm.
Adele. See, Halloween, it's perfect.
Yep. Somehow she still feels like a bird in a cage.
Mhm. I'm at 31:35.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
Here we go. Every dang time this startles me.
It's such a mom thing to do. You need a chore then.
Yeah.
If you're feeling that
Oh, you're down
restless.
in the dumps? Yeah. Take this to the post office for me.
Yes. Go get some sugar.
Get out of here. Get some
Yes.
fresh air. Oh, Jesus. Every time. Every time that damn bird. I'm okay. Every time. I've seen this a bajillion times.
Yeah, so crawl. A lot of people didn't, but like it's still it's kind of like
Shit.
a lot of people didn't give a dang, but it was still the predominant cultural views. But that doesn't mean that there isn't restrictions and individuals. I'm sure. That sounds like an interesting mix, Old Crow. You guys might hear. Oh, never mind.
I love how Michael Fassbender's mom and sister, when he said, "Oh, I was offered the part of Rochester," they're like, you're taking it." It's like they pretty much would not let me not take it. Well, you forced me to walk, so I love how he just takes her stuff. Are you still there, Em? Are you still there, Em?
Sorry, I'm still here. My computer just became unplugged and I kept on unplugging it, and it kept on saying that there was no battery coming to it. So
Oh,
I had to go and do some technical fixing.
uh,
But all good now.
got it. I'm at 3652. My timestamp's 37:40.
She's a fairy. Ooh.
I love right out the gate she's toe to toe with him.
Yeah. Helen.
Yeah.
I love the little gloves.
Yes.
There's a part of me that dismisses wearing gloves in all seasons. I'm like, I know it's not practical. I know it would be like it would get more burdensome in the actual practice of it, but
Oh, yeah.
I just love the look of it.
I do like this scene showing his more erratic
Yeah.
behaviors, yeah. Yeah. Abrupt and changeful. Bang, bang.
Yes, the little girl Silkrow is wearing these little lace gloves as she eats dinner, but the fingers, so I don't know. I just love it. It's such a family dynamic though.
Oh my god, digging up a rose bush. That is like a three-person job. The thing I dislike about this version is I wish they would have showed more of their talks like they do. Obviously, it's only 2 hours, but
Yeah.
and they did. They filmed it and they took it out. And I understand that. This almost seems like a version for the people who already know the story.
Yeah.
It's just another retelling. So there's so much exposition. Like, I just wish they would have showed their talks a little bit more.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's so
Because they
important.
talked about everything.
Yeah. I think that's so important because it shows it's not a whirlwind romance. You
Right.
know, it's a kinship of minds
Yep.
first and foremost.
Yeah, they really got to know each other.
Disemboweled.
And yeah, they're having a talk right now, but it's almost like he's forcing her to do so, which in certain instances he did, but oh god. That's such a great line, and he delivered it so well.
He did. It's
So,
perfect.
she charmed my English gold out of my English pocket.
Mr. Rochester just bought the little girl a dress, and she said thank you very sweetly in French, and Mr. Rochester was like, "Oh, yeah, you say thank you like your mother."
Yeah, and
Very
that's how
charming.
she charmed my English gold out of my English pocket.
It was very innocent and sweetly done. Mr. Rochester's just being
Y Mr. Rochester.
Chester.
Yeah, you still need a pair. I love his look of her there. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm at 45:32.
Yeah, that's how where I am.
Beautiful.
I know it's partly the smoke in their eyes from the fire, but I love how their eyes look like they're just on the verge of crying during this scene. Well, she's
Well, no one has ever talked to them this way.
yeah.
No one no m she's never had this long of a conversation with a man to begin with, and it's never been this direct. And
Well,
he
it's
has never
off.
had a conversation with a woman that hasn't been this deep and insightful.
No, it won't take his consenture, his condensation. Bird metaphor.
Ugh, I love the music there.
I know. I was just about to say you can hear the bird taking off.
Yep,
And
then
yes,
going into the harmonics again.
and again, she's really looking into the sensuality of it all.
Mhm. Soul Crow, the bird metaphor is because she feels like she's a bird in a cage. She even acknowledges it. And he does too. He mentions that. And that's why there's all those metaphors.
Which, it scares you, but that's why the bird releases right when it sees Rochester.
Yes. I wouldn't say it scares me, it startles me every time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. It scares her too. Love scares you.
Yes. Yeah. I hear an echo on your end. Like
Really?
I can hear myself, yeah.
Is that better?
I don't know, I haven't talked. But
Okay.
yes, it is.
Okay.
And now there's a fire in Rochester's room. She wakes him up and saves him. Slap him. I still hear myself.
I'm sorry. I don't. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Can you hear now?
I'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite moments.
Yes, I love it too. One thing I like about this movie is one of
I
my
would have been
favorite.
coughing a lot. Sorry, there's a shit ton of smoke in there.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
One
It
thing you like.
to me, one of my favorite movies when I was little was The Secret Garden, and the when she heard Colin and all of the nurses and everything going back and forth at night, and his wells and his crying. Jane Eyre feels like a grown up version of
Yes.
The Secret Garden.
Oh. There's a hand touch. Oh my god. I love it. It's also a moment where I thought the Ruth Wilson Toby Stevens version also got right.
She's taking off her robe.
This anticipation of just such an intimate moment,
Mhm.
and she's never been this close to a man before, let alone have
Mm-mm.
talked to this a man this much before, and oh my gosh, like and now he's gone. And
Yeah.
he's left. Yep.
She's like like how you have a really good date and then all of a sudden the guy ghosts you for a day
Yeah.
or 2, and you're just like,
Yep.
"What?"
It's not
What
like she can
happened?
send him a text, "Hey, where'd you go?" Like, "When are you coming back?"
Oh, and she's talking about another woman.
Yep. Blanche. It's his intention to make Jane jealous so he can
Mhm,
find out her true feelings.
mhm. So manipulative.
Yep.
Like another man we know,
Yes.
like another character.
Yep. Which I know everyone went gaga over Last Jedi and Pride and Prejudice, and of course there are like complete utter parallels with the sequel trilogy and Pride and Prejudice. There's a lot of Jane Eyre wrapped up in that too.
Oh, fiery tree
Yep.
burning. Yep.
Yep.
The theme of isolation, of 2 people who feel like they can't meet their equal and they finally did, but they can't be
Yep.
together. An innocent soul and an experienced soul.
Oh, and kids being so intuitive. Adele knows right away something's wrong with Jane.
It's all iced over and cold now instead of the
Yep.
spring.
Yep. And you see when they finally do express their feelings for each other, it's spring.
Yeah, the tree is literally budding.
Yep. Ugh, and she's drawing him, and we never see that picture. I'm so upset. Our timestamp is 55:55. And it's like people just didn't come by for an hour or 2 and leave. Like, if people were coming to visit, like, they stayed for weeks, if not months on end.
Mhm.
In the country, you didn't have neighbors just right next door.
Sure didn't.
Yeah.
I love how Mrs. Fairfax has little Leia side buns underneath her cap.
Yes. Yeah. Soul Crow, you couldn't just walk up and say, "Hello there." Nope. I mean, there are times, of course, where people would stop by if they lived a couple miles away and had a horse, but or a carriage. But this type of thing, it was an entourage that would come. No one will notice you.
I love Blanche Ingram's dress.
Yeah, I don't. I think they did a good job again of the flower in the front. Just the way it looks is supposed to be similar in cut to Jane's, but hers is supposed to be gorgeous, of course, and Jane's is so dowdy and plain, and I love how they did that. The cuts are the same, but they couldn't be more different in appearance. Like the neckline is the same. The white frill is a little bit the same, but that's it.
It's not ornate. I mean, mostly it's like that satin taffeta
Yeah.
fabric and then the pink rose. And of course, she has her black lace
Yep.
gloves.
And Jane, of course, feels Rochester's indifferent to her right now. But he's doing it on purpose. He's making her jealous.
Yes.
Oh, she's ready to lose it.
We are describing a party that they're having. So Rochester has invited a whole bunch of his friends, along with a very beautiful girl named Blanche Ingram, and he is courting her and trying to see if he can make Jane jealous. Ooh, that face that Michael
Yep.
Fassbender just made. So good.
Richard Mason. Oh, you mean my brother-in-law?
Yeah. So
Damn.
a mysterious man has just come to Mr. Rochester's house named Mr. Mason, and this is part of the mystery. I love this scene.
Mm-hmm. No, sir, I'd stay with you. Oh,
Oh, what is his name?
oh.
Oh gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
He was Viserys on
Yes,
Game of Thrones.
yes.
Dang it.
Oh gosh, that's gonna drive me nuts. He's actually a relative of Charles Dickens too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Is it Charlie something? It's probably not Charlie something.
I've got to look it up. It's gonna
I got
drive
it.
me.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Okay. Like the doves that you are, innocent.
Harry Lloyd. Man, I was
There it is.
off. I was a little off. Sorry, everyone.
I don't think anyone judges you,
No.
friend.
And he's like, "Oh my god, come with me," because she is like the only person he trusts.
Yes.
Or she is the only person he trusts. Yeah.
That's how you know someone really likes you.
Yeah. Oh, great, you brought me to your brother-in-law, but I don't know he's your brother-in-law, but he's stabbed and he's bleeding. What? Oh my god. Can I clean this? I'm a governess, not a nurse, damn it. Oh my
Oh,
god.
So, Ash, if you basically um, everyone heard a scream, and the guy, Mr. Mason from Jamaica, has been stabbed, and no one knows who did it. So Mr. Rochester has asked Jane to take care of Mr. Mason and cleanse his wound. So the mystery is
And
still
now
here.
Jane hears some wailing
Yes,
behind a tapestry. God, you know what? I know what this is, but it's still creepy.
it is. She also,
And the tapestry just moved. Oh! Oh, da, 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 da. If you don't know what's behind Jane Eyre, like this is incredibly intense
yeah.
and um thrilling.
There's also a bite mark on Mr. Mason's neck as
Yeah,
well.
bite mark, and
So
he got stabbed in the back. So what the heck? And she's feeling behind the tapestry now. She hears air blowing, and she finds a door, a locked door or a panel. And then a banging. So her imagination is just running wild, like what this could be.
and Mr. Rochester just finished saying to her, like, if something came out and it was to condemn me, would you leave me too? So
Yeah.
she's like, okay, yeah, you're not just a moody man. What is actually going on here?
Uh-huh.
Gosh.
Also one of my favorite parts. No worries, Ash. Some people are listening along. There are 9 other people in here. Hello, everyone.
Say hello. Enter the chat.
Some people don't chat, and that's just fine.
Exactly.
We're still here. Oh. Jane, wake up.
Hello, Jane.
Wake up, Jane. He just called you his lovely one.
And transfixed. He said he was transfixed by
He just put a
you.
freaking flower in your hair. Jane, wake up. Oh my God. I'm sure she would regenerate me with a vengeance.
That's the whole feminine healing the masculine
Yep.
wound, ladies and gentlemen. Reylo in
And
space.
she does. She heals him.
Yes.
Oh my god, what a stupid, frivolous game. Like, it just goes to show, like, she has these deep conversations with him, and he and Blanche are trying to keep a feather afloat.
Yes.
Like, they're not talking at all. They are playing a stupid, frivolous game.
She plays back. She's like,
Yep. I'm at 1 hour 10:05. Yeah, you need to pay me. Come here, kitty cat. She can't be comfortable in that chaise. Just saying. Kitty cat, come on.
oh. Is that Milo or Sweetness?
Sweetness.
Oh. She makes a different sound than Milo does. Or
Yes,
am I
she
just
does.
hearing things?
Nope, she makes different sounds. I mean, you look at this in context. Oh, Ashley, not to sound weird, but I really like both your voices. Quite beautiful and relaxing, to be honest.
Oh,
Oh, well, thank
thank
you.
you.
Old Republic podcast in the house.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for showing up.
Yes.
Love this movie. The perfect scary romance. What's Halloween?
Halloween is the celebration of the Gothic romance in space
On Halloween.
on Halloween.
Yes. I would have. Oh. In context, her attitude makes sense now that she just found out she's got an uncle who loved her and wanted
Yes.
to take care of her, and now he's dead, and now she has money.
Oh, is that I think that's the bird
That's
book.
the bird book, yep.
Yeah. Again, metaphor.
Oh my god, I love this part. Ugh. Look at him.
I know.
Stealing with the Twilight. Ugh. Touch me whenever you want, man. Not gonna lie. He just stares at her. Oh my god.
How can you handle that? I'd be like, I gotta
All
turn.
men identifying individuals need to watch this film. That's how you look at a woman. Just saying. Just saying.
It's all no nonverbal communication. I mean,
Verbal communication.
it's
Yes.
very important to girls,
Yes.
to women. That's what we talk about. And then he looked at me this way, and then he touched the lower part of my back.
Yep.
It's nonverbal.
And of course, Miss Fairfax is like not even realizing what's going on between Jane and Rochester, and she
Yes.
says, "Oh, he and Blanche Ingram are to be engaged," which is not true. Now she's a little depressed. Oh, she puts in her notice. Oh, Miss Gabriella reads, yes, Jane would have rather have had all the time in the world to get to know her uncle than to have the money that she
Yes.
was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And she did correspond with him. I can't remember if she went to see him or truly meet him before he died, but in the book she did correspond with him. A little bit, I think. What are
Oh,
the
it's
most Reylo
okay.
movies outside of Star Wars? Jane Eyre, Pride and
Yes.
Prejudice.
Pride,
Those are
Pride
the
and
two,
Prejudice.
yep,
Yes.
most Reylo movies.
That's why the Reylo community calls Reylo Jane Eyre in space and Pride and
Yep.
Prejudice in space.
And Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Old
Yeah.
Republic podcasts. Seriously, there's even a burning tree.
Yep.
I mean, like, there's all that symbolism. And the red string. Oh gosh. Rochester, that was
He
not a good
walks,
thing
he
to
does
say.
not take his eyes off her.
Yep.
Here's the red string!
Yep.
Red string!
Red string. Red string alert.
How could I
Oh,
forget you? And look, everything behind her is green and lush.
It's in bloom.
And the light is behind it. Well, yeah, you kind of do. She's up in the attic. She stabbed her brother and bit him. Oh, I thought she delivered this very well.
Oh, she did.
What?
It'd be like the same thing. Like,
You love me. Oh. And the wind kicks up and the storm's coming, which is an omen.
yep. But also metaphor
Yes.
of how they feel. Because like what
Yes. Yep. The
happens,
water.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that string. The low cello viola turned into this singing violin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Doesn't it look like someone's in the window? Oh, I love this part. Comes to a fever pitch.
Yeah.
And then the kiss. And he carries her up the stairs. Oh, jeez. And Miss Fairfax is like, what is going on?
She's like, well, she knows about the
Yes.
secret. So she's like, girl, you
No,
need to
she
run.
doesn't.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
She
She
doesn't
doesn't.
know.
I'm
But she
sorry.
again, she has not been aware of the talks they've had.
No.
Yep, see?
I put in 3 links of Jane Eyre videos that we have done. The first one is with a beautiful reading from Luthien and a male narrator named Heradir that we did the red thread from Jane Eyre. The second one is His Secret Soul, which is another reading. And then the third is a podcast comparing Reylo to Jane Eyre. So if you're more interested, those are the 3 videos that we've done.
Thanks, friend.
You're welcome.
Hada dear, if you're listening, I love you.
We miss you.
Oh, I love this part too.
If I had a dog, I wanted to name him Pilot
Pilot.
because of
She's just
Rochester's dog.
anxious. She's just anxious, and then she lays her head on his leg. Oh, I'm real enough. Ugh. Yeah,
Uh,
you are.
Miss Phantom
So it's the
Light.
most real moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did this director direct A New World too with Colin
Um,
what's his face?
Look, it's all
Christian
pink
Bale.
and spring-like. She's in full bloom. All the flowers,
Yep. Their
everything
love
is
has blossomed. Yep.
yeah.
Colin Farrell, um, Christian Bale, Christopher Plummer. Um, I Koryanka Kilcher. I don't think I'm pronouncing her name
Oh,
right. But anyway, this whole sequence. No, that was a Terrence Malick film. But anyway, that whole sequence just now before she opens her dress reminds me of that wordless, just instrumental walking through nature with the person you love, have feelings with. It's just very symbolic. I love how her wedding dress, and it's got the flower and the lace. It mimics Blanche's in
exactly.
that it has that flower in the front. And yep,
It's so pretty.
it mimics Blanche's, but
Yep.
it now has a veil
It's white.
and
It's
it's white.
pure.
Yeah, it's pure. Doesn't have the black lace.
Nope.
Yep.
I think Old Republic had a question about Reylo and then Revan Bastila movies. I think Jane Eyre would probably be more Revan and Bastila than Pride
Yeah, I
and
can see that.
Prejudice, just because of it's a lot having to do with someone who has lived and experienced and tasted the bitterness
Life,
of
yeah.
life, and then someone who has been in the light, who's young and fresh, but at the same time is dealing with being feeling like a bird in the cage because
Mhm.
Bastila feels that way a lot
Yeah.
with the Jedi.
They survived. I get you a doctor and you survive, and this is what you do to me? Thanks a lot, brother.
They are also tricked him, so
Yes, they did.
listen to the cellos in the
Yep.
deepest of the bass.
Yep. Meet my wife. Oh, Adele. Wrong time.
15 years too late.
And of course, no one knows. Oh, look at all the dead flies.
She's trapped in a cage just like Jane Eyre is.
Yep. Oh, she can't get out of it fast enough. But even that, she feels is suffocating her.
Yeah.
Back to her dowdy dress. My
But this
timestamp's 128:41. Oh my god. She's been sleeping on the floor in front of her room, waiting for her. Oh my god. You know, she's just been sobbing so much. It's like, here, drink this whiskey or brandy. He's doing such a good job here for them. Okay, I'll stay. You got me. It is true. Like a lot of times the man's family would be in so much debt, and there'd be a woman uh who was readily available, and it would be somewhat arranged, and that woman's dowry would save the family. And so it wasn't all a lot of times it wasn't the man's money. It was the woman's. You see that in Downton Abbey. You see that a lot of like the British monarchy was like going into financial ruin, and they found a lot of American wives and that new American money and brought it back over. Wasn't the fact in this case, but
yeah, he didn't know that Bertha was mentally insane.
Correct. Correct. And in his own way, he did try. He did
He
try
did
to
it
love
definitely did
her.
try.
Yeah.
He and he didn't want to put her in an insane asylum. He felt like
Correct. And that was his compassion about it. He knew what they would
exactly.
do. And
Yeah.
now what's crazy is everyone's a bird trapped in their own cage. He is in a gilded cage, and Bertha is literally up in a room that has bars on the windows.
Yeah.
And Jane is in her own cage, like everything is just a bird in a cage metaphor.
I mean, that's what Bertha wants to do. Is she wants to
Yes.
climb out of the window and
And fly away.
fly. Yeah.
Oh God. The look he has is crazed, and the firelight is not like is just doing that to his eyes. He's just so he looks crazed that he's losing her.
It's also a hell metaphor.
Correct, yes.
It's
Yes,
it's
she is escaping, um not that he's the devil, but you're right, the hell metaphor of the snake luring her in, trying to keep her there when she knows that she can't, she would lose herself. Now that everyone knows what has happened, she would not only lose her self-respect, but in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the community, like what would it look like for her to stay there when he still has a wife and she is there?
yeah. Well, she also, in her religious perspective, felt like it was a mortal sin.
Well,
I
right,
mean,
that's
she
what I
even
said,
says,
like in the eyes
yeah.
of God. Yes.
So, it would be it is a hell metaphor.
Right, yes.
So she rather,
And again,
escape.
it was Satan
Yeah.
metaphorically offering her everything.
Hey, John.
Hi,
Glad you
John.
can come. We're at 1:35:30 on in the film if
Yep.
you want to start. Also, if many of you did not hear at the very beginning, we just found out yesterday that Prime Video is putting Jane Eyre on Prime
For
in a matter
free.
of a couple of hours.
Yeah. For free. Great.
So if you want to
Oh, well.
wait and listen to this when you can watch it for free on Prime,
Yep.
we totally understand. Girls with struggles.
It's not a fun thing to do. It looks like she's just, like, lying in a bed of juniper. I'm like, "That hurts."
It
Unless it's
does.
not
Well,
juniper.
it's also that spring I mean,
Yeah.
she's literally, but it's also a plant that survives the
Yes,
seasons.
juniper. Yes, very much so.
I love metaphors. Oh my gosh. If they're my love language.
Look, even her dress and her scarf is in green like a juniper bush.
Yeah. She's in the blink of winterness, but she's still
She's
blooming.
surviving. Yep.
Yeah, she's blooming. It hurts. It's blooming.
Yep.
I guess Sinjin is the thorns.
Yes.
Then this Sinjin is the irritation. Oh, no worries, Ash. We're glad that you're here.
Of course, he takes one to find out who she really is.
Yep.
Oh, another one of my most favorite parts. Her thoughts
Me
and
for my
imagination running
heart.
away with her. Oh, God.
There was something on that quilt about my heart. Me and my heart or something. I'll have to go back and look.
The music here. Oh my gosh, if Ray had a moment. Oh my dear God.
Well, look at that. I mean, that's the finger touching scene. Like he
This
comes out of the
whole
storm
ah!
and the glow and the burning of the her hut. Very low in space.
Oh, it's not him.
She's like, shoot.
Yep.
It's the juniper
But the
bush.
it's the icy cold coming into the warmth of her. Ugh. I just want to rewind and watch that scene again. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna save everyone for that. But oh my god, it's like one of my favorite scenes. Very symbolic.
Yes.
Your uncle's dead. God, 20,000 pounds. Well, she was also hoping that it was Rochester. But of course, she has no idea what's going on back at Thornfield.
No.
If she gave 5,000 pounds each to Sinjin and the two sisters, she'd only have 5,000 left. But how long would that last her in those days? Do you
Uh,
know?
I'm not sure. I'm looking it up at the equivalency right now. An inheritance of 20,000 pounds would be equivalent to about 1.9 million today.
Holy shit. Sorry. Wow. So 20,000 pounds was $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's pounds.
Well, pounds, I mean, yeah, yeah, give or
Yes,
take. So pounds.
yes.
So 5,000 pounds, how much would that be?
Oh, don't make me do math. I can do it. I just don't want
So
to. It'll
that
take
would
me
be a
some time.
250,000 pounds, roughly, give or take. So that'd be like maybe 300,000 pounds. 3 to 400,000 pounds.
See, this is Halloween for me. I'm made to do math while I'm watching a Victorian movie. I'm sorry. I hate like I can't even do it. It just
Okay, so
hurts my head.
let's just go low end. Let's go low end and say 275 to 300,000 pounds. If we're looking at quarters, like if it's 1.5 million pounds and there's 4 of them and she wants to give each a quarter, then you're looking at okay, 300 more than. So you're like 325,000 pounds. But still, like for a single woman, like you cannot blow through that
Yeah.
at all. Like that's still insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. So 5,000 pounds, I mean, she would not blow through that
No, she sure wouldn't. He's like, I want you to marry me and we can go on
because it
missions.
makes sense.
Yes.
You're a woman. I'm a dude. Let's get married. It makes sense.
We're both
And
educated
then let's go
people,
to a sweltering hot country on a missions trip.
but we can't go there together. And we're cousins.
Because now we're family. Oh my God.
She's like,
It's like,
I
this is
have,
the best proposal ever.
yes. And in the book, Sinjin does have a girl that he loves and loves him, but he
Yes.
refuses her because she would keep him in England and he
Yeah.
feels like he's called to the mission field.
East. India. Yeah.
Girl of 19 who is also 19, Bastla and
And now
Ray.
she hears Rochester on the wind. She hears him calling her name, which he is at that moment.
Yep.
Red thread. Enough love will follow. I didn't stutter. Makes sense if she loves Rochester. There it is. Ah! She doesn't say his name out loud, but she hears him say hers. Oh my God.
Because I'm Jane Eyre.
Yeah. I'm coming.
Um,
Bye,
I,
Sinjin.
I put this on my the Twitter feed, but there's a legend that the Eyre surname was once upon a time called True Love. That was their real surname, and then
Mm,
during 1066, True Love saw William hurt. His helmet was smashed in, so True Love took the helmet off. And William the Conqueror
mm,
said, your name is no longer True Love. Your name is Eyre because you have given me the breath of life."
mm.
So I really feel like Charlotte chose that name, Eyre, because she gave Rochester the breath of life.
Yep.
True love and Eyre. I'm surprised they didn't show the fire.
You're rasping on your mic a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Again, only so much time. It would have been interesting to see it in a flashback, like when Mrs. Fairfax is explaining it to Jane.
Yeah. Well, we need the lightning in the tree.
Yes. Again, it could have been a flashback. But, this was very much like indie film feeling,
Yeah.
and their budget was only so much.
Yeah.
But she's devastated
Yeah.
seeing this.
Oh, she's holding the little doll.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Mrs. Fairfax.
It's starting to bud again.
Yep. And of course, it matches her dress.
Yep. Oh, Pilot.
Oh, and then, of course, the touch first. And he knows instantly who it is. Oh, for everyone who doesn't know, he's blind. He's blind now.
The fire.
Yep.
He was, I think he was hit in the head during the
Yes.
fire. And so because of that, he is now blind. So she finds Rochester by the
Sitting by
tree.
their tree.
Yes. Blind. He's not very well groomed.
And she calls him by his name for the first time.
Oh.
No rain, no thunderstorm this time.
Nope. I remember Michael Fassbender saying that this is one of his sister's or mother's favorite books.
Yes.
So he had
Right.
to,
When he told them
yeah,
that he was asked to do it, I don't think he even had to try out. It was brought to him.
yeah.
And they're like, "No question. You're playing Rochester. You're doing it. You're playing Rochester."
So he was like, I took this role with fear and trembling because he was
Yeah.
like, if I messed it up, my sisters and my mother would make me hear of it.
Yep.
But I love the parallel of that. Like that house was burnt to the ground,
Mhm.
basically. And his family made him marry Bertha,
Yeah.
but it was Jane's inheritance that had it rebuilt. So like
Yep.
all of the lies and the mistrust and the money that was paid with so much tears is
Mhm.
now
But it was now
rebuilt.
their house,
It's
theirs
yeah,
together, and, um, I do get why the director ended the movie here, but in the book, it has a much happier moment for the 2 of them
yeah,
because they have children. They have a family, which is, you know, it's very much a Ben Solo thing, which is the great parallel of Rochester had the money, his family was wealthy, but then they were starting to lose it. He's forced to marry Bertha, but of course he felt like he never had the familial support that he
yeah,
wanted. And of course, Jane never had a family, so the Jane Eyre aspect is very much Rey. Even more
yes,
so than Pride and Prejudice, it is Jane Eyre is Rey. And um at the end of Jane Eyre, the house is the it looks like a castle, but the home is rebuilt and it's both of their homes now, Thornfield. Uh and the with the birth of their son, Rochester regains his sight, which is
yes.
so metaphorical
Mhm.
of the net the one of the greatest things in the world is a child, so that unconditional love, it's now unconditional love gave him new sight, and he had it, but literally now his sight returned. Um, it's just such a beautiful ending to the book, and I felt that the BBC version, of course, they take it all the way to the end where you see them with their children, and it's a big family portrait that's being done of Thornfield in the background and the servants too. Like it's this whole big thing, which is very jovial, and the
Yes.
music is even jovial, but they still did not tack on the end of Rochester's sight returning. Um, which I wish they would have done. Again, that's something I would have added. I felt that was so poignant at the very end of the book. His sight returns.
Yes.
It's something I would have added. I thought that was very important.
Well, and what she says is at that point is that God tempered justice with mercy, and
Yes.
that was like when his mercy completely revealed itself.
Yeah. It was the grace at the end.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, like, the judgment, the hellfire has
Mhm.
burned down
Yep.
the lies and the deceit and the
Yep.
greed and all of that, and now it's rebuilt it up.
Everything was new, and now he can see everything with new eyes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, it's like a baptism by fire,
Yeah.
basically,
Yep. Mushy Girl. Welcome in the chat. Hi. Mushy Girl said the one with Toby Stevens has the epilogue where they have their children and a new home and a happy life. And yep, Adele and Mrs. Fairfax. So it's like this whole familial picture being painted of Jane and Rochester and their children and Adele and Mrs. Fairfax. Like it now does feel like a big family, just like Mrs. Fairfax said in the beginning, um, when Jane arrives. Uh, she even has after the fire, she looks on everyone differently.
Mhm,
In her own way she does, and everyone learns to appreciate each other because everyone survived, and that is because Rochester went in and saved everyone. He
yeah,
would not let anyone perish. He went in for everyone, and it's a testament to his underlying compassion for everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Rochester was redeemed for past sins and is renewed by love of Jane and their
Yep.
children.
Yep.
Exactly. By the
Mhm.
way, Mushy Girl, it is so
Yep.
nice to see you. I
Yay!
haven't seen you a long time in the chat, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you're
Thanks for
back.
joining us tonight.
Yeah. Um, well, friend, our journey in Jane Eyre has come to
Yep.
an end. Thank you, everyone who joined us. We really appreciate it. We wanted to do mostly our live stream commentaries are exclusively for our patrons, but we wanted to do one for the holidays. So we thought we would do Jane Eyre for Halloween because neither Lou or I are horror film people.
No.
so, so
Nope.
Jane Eyre is our gothic romance, and of course, this will be available for you anytime. It will upload.
Yep.
We also have more live streams and commentary that we will announce in the future. So there are still some things going. So if you like these commentaries, stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
Uh, we are on, if you want to discuss Jane Eyre with us some more, we're always down for that. We're on
Mhm.
Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. All of those links are down below. And we also, as I said, we do commentary live streams for patrons only. The patrons get to choose the movie. We give them a poll and they decide to choose, and then we do that with them. And it's such a fun time. I love that those nights with the
Mhm.
patrons. Um, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, we have merch on TeePublic. And I don't know what happened to our banner on that. Girls with Struggles.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'll have to make that again. I guess I deleted it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, friend. I'm sorry, everyone, but it will be in the links in the description below. Anything else you want to bring up, friend?
I love Michael Fassbender. And I love Toby Stevens, which makes like I love those versions equally, and I
Yes.
wish I could just meld them together because there are moments in the Toby Stevens one where he does
Yeah.
Rochester complete and utter justice, and he has his moments where he's just staring intensely at Jane. I'm just like, mm. But I've always loved Toby Stevens, so I'm gonna have to watch that one now.
Yeah, I know. We thought about doing that because that's on HBO
It's
Max as
almost
well as
4
Hulu.
hours.
But it's 4 hours long, and
Yeah.
we're like, "We don't have no one
No.
has time for that."
Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, YouTube
Uh,
doesn't have time for that.
yeah, yeah, so I'm sorry. We thought about doing that. I also love the version, that Zeffirelli directed, because I don't like William Hurt's Rochester at all. He was a complete total miscast. But I love the Zeffirelli Jane Eyre. and I love how they did the Red Room and how they
Yes.
did the Helen Byrne relationship, and like Jane Eyre herself is played so perfectly. Because one thing that Hollywood does, and I understand, is Hollywood makes them a little bit more better looking than they are in the book. Like they're supposed to be two plain Jane people, like Rochester, like she makes a joke about him and he makes a joke about it. It's just, I don't know. I love the Zeffirelli version because I feel like they did not cast based on appearance. They cast it based on the soul of Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
So, love that version as well. Like I'm with Lou. There's not one quintessential Jane Eyre. I just have several that I would like to cut
Mashed
and paste
together.
and mash
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. And of course, I feel Adam Driver would make a really good Rochester.
Oh yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. So thank you so much for joining us. As we said, all of our links can be found below. Also, Lou and I have done a podcast on Jane Eyre as well, and connecting it with Reylo, as well as Luthien and our friend Heradir narrated some beautiful passages from Jane Eyre, and those links will be in the description as well. So go check those out because they're chef's kiss.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. It's true. Like Silcrow
Yeah.
said, you have a very soothing voice. So
Thank
does
you.
Heradir. So, it's like
Yeah.
literary ASMR.
It is. It is. It is. Love you, Hannah dear, if you're listening. Um, yeah. To everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who will be listening back and running this through the commentary and hearing me jump at birds and horses and
Fun
yeah,
times.
drooling over Michael Fassbender. It's fine.
There you go.
Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning, and we will see you later. Ben Solo lives.
I wasn't sure you were going to do that or not. I'm
I
glad you
love
did.
Michael Fassbender too. And Toby Stevens. Oh, yeah. Bye, everyone.